Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live show match action coming at you right now. It will be Matty, everybody's favorite Terran, right? Taking on BirdKickr. So this will be kind of an interesting matchup here. We've seen Matty, really be very effective against a lot of different players. And then when he comes up against certain GMs that just know how to deal with his very aggressive playstyle, he tends to have a little bit of trouble, but we've only seen that in a verse Protoss scenario. So I'm interested to see how he's gonna deal with BirdKickr. BirdKickr is a very, very highly ranked individual. Should be well aware of the types of cheeses that you can pull out with a Terran strategy here. But Matty going to start off with his little supply depot going down. He is in the 6 o'clock position as our red Terran, and up at the 12 o'clock in cross positions here on Metalopolis, it is BirdKickr, and it will be a best of 3 between these guys. Should be tons of fun. I'm actually kind of excited to see how BirdKickr is going to fare against Matty, the 2-Rax King, also known as Alive, TRN. Alive, a phenomenal player. He's a Korean player. Good stuff here from him. Looks like BirdKickr does know where his opponent is by default. Process of elimination. Doesn't see him here unless he deployed at the gold, right? Which is a possibility. What can I say? Looks like BirdKickr will send out a drone scout here. We do have your barracks going down for Matty. Now, oh, an early gas here, so it's not going to be a 2-Rax all in. Well, I guess at least it will be a different one if he does. How's that? But you never know with Matty, but it could be a 1-base all-in regardless. 1-1-1 could be a great choice for him. He tends to like that, I think, versus his Zerg opponents. I'll see how he's going to proceed, but BirdKickr does cruise up here to the high ground, wants to see what's going on, does see that refinery going down. Just the 1-4 now. It is almost 3 minutes in, so that's pretty good intel. Probably going to see him try and cruise back up there in just a few moments. There we go. Down goes the wall off. Looks like BirdKickr does secure his natural very, very quickly. Did go hatch first. Spawning pool there right behind, however, so he should be in okay position here to defend. Should Matty start coming his way, and we'll see what he's going to do. He could open Hellions here. He does have that 1 gas still, so probably a Hellion opener is going to be fairly effective considering his economic setup. There goes your factory, so it does appear that it's going to be a Hellion opener. First Marine is out on the field. Probably going to see this barracks lift up and build a reactor. And reactor. There she goes. There she goes. You didn't know it, but that is the 3rd female unit in the Terran army is reactors. Yeah, it's actually a girl in there that runs the reactor. Now you know. See? There she is. Cool, cool, cool. Well, looks like your SCV here trying to get some decent scouting information. Going to run out of time here fairly quickly. We do have Lings trying to chase him down. No gas or mining quite yet, but looks like that will be remedied here in just a moment. BirdKickr does toss down his first extractor. No static defense from him quite yet, but look at this Matty. Not going for 1-base play right now. He is absolutely going for an expansion. Yes, it is, Goku. This is your favorite player, Goku. It is Matty, Matty, Matty. And he isn't 2-Raxing. I know, it's crazy. He's opening with Hellions, which is strange. What can I say? Hellions it is. And he's got 2 of them about to pop out. Probably going to see 2 more here momentarily. A couple Lings here getting a little bit of intel. Does see that command center going down exactly where Matty wants it. Not going to be bothered with flying it out. And he also does scout the Hellions there, so that's good intel. Should enable BirdKickr to gear himself up for solid defense. Notice he's going to be tossing down some spine crawlers back here. Nice little positioning there. 2 spine crawlers, just enough, ladies and gentlemen, as well as grabbing out his metabolic speed boost for his Zerglings. Looking pretty good. A little bit of creep thread going to start going down for BirdKickr. Gearing up for his 3rd first. I love this. You know, he's getting himself prepared for when he wants to take that 3rd. It's nice to have those bases connected the second that they come up and running. And I think it's really, really nice play. Looks like Matty cruising forward with his first 2 Hellions, trying to figure out a way to skirt these spine crawlers. Is not quite going to happen, however. Looks like some more creep thread going down for BirdKickr. In great time. Great time indeed. Trying to get his creep tumor down or knock down his opponent's creep tumor. I like this play for Matty, but he wasn't quite able to do it. I love the positioning here for BirdKickr. He put it back there on purpose so it would be difficult to snipe. Doesn't want to be wasting that energy, and indeed he is not. Looks like he's ready to start spreading, but he's probably going to be waiting on his roaches before he starts spreading that creep. He really wants to protect his creep tumors if at all possible, which I think is a really, really nice play. Matty, in the meantime, let's take a look at his base. We haven't checked on it in just a little while. Whole bunch of Hellions now out on the field here. He's got a couple more, as well as working on a mass marine. He does have a tech lab out on his factory, but oh my goodness, looks like he's going to be switching these suckers out. Back to the reactor, going to pump out some more Hellions. We're going to see probably a couple of Marauders out on the field here, either that or some upgrades. Yep, it is going to be upgrades. Combat shield going down, and still Marines. So sticking with the Marines, not a bad little play. We do see a starport going down, and that's going to be pretty nice. Actually, good composition here for Matty. So this is the first time in a good long while we've seen Matty, or also known as Alive, going to be tossing down what appears to be standard Terran play. What can I tell you? It's a little bit mystifying, right? But he's got a nice looking army here. I like the amount of Hellions he's got in this force. He's going to have a little bit of trouble with a bunch of roaches, I think maybe, but all in all, he's in pretty decent shape so far. Notice the map control, however, for BirdKickr. He doesn't have these towers, but on his side of the map, man, he knows what's going on. He's got great vision. He's also spreading his creep here very, very well. Parking his overlords in the back of all of these bases. Just going to keep tabs on what's going on. Wants to also keep his eye out for drops. Is really, really smart play. So it looks like a couple Lings going to, wow, somehow back these Hellions out. This Roach backing them out as well. Good little units here. Matty is kicking at BirdKickr's heels there in the supply count. Let's just check in on that units tab. 57 drones right now for BirdKickr to 39 SCVs. So BirdKickr, despite how many mules he calls down, it's going to be difficult to make up that difference there. So a little bit of supply or economic discrepancy there in favor of BirdKickr, who's currently securing his third. It is going to be complete here in just a few seconds. Nice looking unit composition. He also tossed down a macro hatch. Looks like he completed that one before his third. That's all right. Does have his Roach Warren complete, as well as a Spire completing. A lot of gas. Probably going to see him start transitioning into some airplay, I would assume, here in just a few moments. But here comes movement from Matty. We have scouted this on BirdKickr's side, backing that Ling out, and now he's going to try and keep tabs on this army. But here comes your Hellions as well. And Matty's got a pretty sizable force here. These Hellions should be able to deal with the amount of Lings that BirdKickr has fairly easily. However, there are a bunch of Banelings here, and that's going to be difficult to deal with, especially with the control that BirdKickr has. We'll see if he's going to be able to make this happen. Blue Flame Hellions here taking out a Queen there fairly quickly. BirdKickr going to get a flank here. And Banelings obliterating that entire army there. BirdKickr still at 108 supply to Matty's 75. He is going to cruise in with these Blue Flames, trying to pick off a couple drones. At least do a little bit of economic damage where possible. Does pick off a couple, not too bad, but he did lose that entire army in phenomenal style. And that is what we like to see from BirdKickr. Matty has got to be careful. Now it's time for him to start transitioning, I think, into potential third base play. And probably going to see some tanks from him here as well. Does have that factory lifted up. I assume it's headed to this tech lab. That's what I'll have to assume at this point. He's been fairly cost effective with this one single tech lab, but I prefer to see him grab a couple more. Notice he is going to be grabbing some tanks out of this guy. Just have that one more, I guess. One more tech lab and grabbing siege tech from it. But in the meantime, BirdKickr will be cruising forward with what is a very scary looking army. Good bunch of Lings, good bunch of Roaches actually in there as well. Not too bad on the Roach side. But here comes a drop from Matty, and BirdKickr did scout it with his overlords. Drop commencing nonetheless. This is just to buy Matty some time, but looks like this medevac is going to go down. Mutas will chase that sucker down and make sure no more drops come out of that guy. Interesting play, however. Matty's really trying to buy himself time. It looks like BirdKickr is now going to be cruising back out across the field. He is ready for an attack. Here comes all of his Banelings, all of his Roaches yet again, as well as his Mutalisks. And Ling's going to start cruising in just about any moment. Cannot wait for the rest of his forces. Here they go. Getting up in, surrounding these units. The tank going to be helping blast away these Marines, unfortunately, here for Matty. Not tons for defense. He is pulling a lot of SCVs. Got some mutas, or some Marines up here on the high ground. But here comes the roaches now from BirdKickr. The supply count is absolutely crazy train right now for BirdKickr. He's really doing a serious amount of damage to Matty's base. His mining has been completely stalled. The orbital command is being lifted up here, and there are just not enough defenses up here in the main for Matty, I think, to hold on. He's really down to just a couple mining SCVs there, and that is just not going to be enough. Looks like this orbital command in danger of going down. Meantime, looks like Matty trying to go for another drop here. Does clean out this mineral line. Not too bad at the main, but man, it's just difficult to hold on here. He's going to re-drop this, taking out as many probes, or drones rather, as he can. Yikes. But Matty going to back out as being as cost-effective as he can here. Trying to buy himself time to get his second base at least up and running again. Does have another siege tank now out on the field. Probably going to need to grab a couple more, but man, his economy is so low. Just does not have the wherewithal to get him. Bunch of mules going down. That's going to boost his mineral economy there for just a few moments. Looks like Matty going to continue dropping. Looks like he lost it here somewhere. Yeah, looks like he did lose his dropship. So BirdKickr backing out. Oh, there it is. He's got one Marine left. One Marine left, trying to figure out where to drop him. Too bad. Too bad. There he goes. It looks like BirdKickr does have a very sizable force. 134 supply to 66 right now. It looks like Matty going to be backing out, trying to play defensively. He's got a couple siege tanks here. Can try and turtle up. He does have a good bunch of mules mining for him right now. Really helping him get that economy back online, but his main is in shambles. It's about to be mined out, and he has got to be super careful. Needs to grab a third here, I think, fairly quickly. BirdKickr going to be making that difficult. Spreading some creep here is going to be super pesky. Matty, though, beefing his supply as quickly as he can, but notice what BirdKickr is transitioning into. It is something called Ultralisks, and this is going to be really fun to watch. But your Zerglings do have +1/+1. That will go for your Ultralisks as well. We do have some infestors on the field as well, and it's not a bad little number of them to boot. Here comes your big attack. 3 Ultras out on the field. I think BirdKickr is going to go for this attack here. He doesn't want to let his opponent catch back up here too quickly. Yeah, so Velociraptor and Ice Cold are saying that it appears that Matty is screwed at this point. This is going to be very difficult to hold off. But BirdKickr kind of biding his time here. He's playing it very, very safe. He's going to have to endure another double drop here. 16 Marines headed his way. He did scout it, but he's sending his units over to this position for defense. And looks like Matty is stalling here for a moment, and that's not a good idea. That means he may not get any damage done at this point. Here they go. Drops will commence. Looks like BirdKickr at the ready. Fungal's going down, and that is going to make it difficult for these guys to evac. 2 very bad. Looks like that is probably going to trigger BirdKickr to go all in. Well, not really all in, what can I say, but start cruising out across the field. Let's put it that way. But another drop down at the main. It looks like Matty's still trying to buy himself some time. He's doing an okay job of it. But this is such a difficult position to be in. But he's finally broken that 100 supply mark here. And could be able to potentially make this happen. It's just going to come down, I think, to some superior micro and not getting caught out of position. And that's exactly what he's about to do here. Tank's about to siege up. There they go. Here come your Ultras. The Ultras will be able to take a lot of this damage. They've got +2/+4 right now. Beautiful play here. BirdKickr cleaning this up. Matty back down well under 100 supply. And there's your GG for game number 1. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Game number 2 will be headed your way here momentarily, so we'll catch you guys then.